Welcome to the video on academic information at Big Bend Community College. Today we are going to be talking about the academic policies for Big Bend and how they apply into healthcare studies. For more specific information, make sure that you refer to the course catalog. Now, later on in this presentation, you will be learning how to find the course catalog. So let's begin. We will be talking about accessing the course catalog, like I mentioned, course numbering system, course repeat policy, credit and credit load, grading symbols, calculations and options, honors, and the low grades policy. Let's begin by learning how to access Big Bend Community College's course catalog. First, you want to bring up Big Bend's home page, and you can find that at bigbend.edu. Then you want to look under academics. You will see the label course catalogs and click on that. Then you want to click on catalogs by year, and specifically you want to find the year that you're interested in. We're interested in 2013 to 2014, so I'll click on that. What appears immediately is the table of contents. This will tell you the topic and where you can find it within the course catalog. Now we are interested in academic information right here. And if I go over to the right, I can see that everything that falls under that category is found on page 18. If I move my mouse down to the bottom of the page, a bunch of navigation tools will pop up. If I click in the box that says number 1, I can type in over the top of it the page number I want. So I typed in 18. Then I want to press the Enter button on my keyboard. This will take me to page number 18, which is academic information. There's a lot of information in this section that I am not going to cover in today's video, so make sure that you do go back to this area and read through it carefully, because you will be held to these standards. Alright, let's return back to the video now that you know how to find the information in the course catalog. First, we're going to begin by talking about the course numbering system. Big Bend has 3 different sets of course numbers, and they're specific to Big Bend, although many of the course numbers are exactly the same across the community college system. First, we have course numbers 10 through 49. Courses that are in this series do not apply toward graduation from Big Bend Community College. And courses of this nature include lab courses, such as the English lab, which are incredibly valuable, but do not add up to something that you can use to help you get enough credits to graduate from Big Bend Community College. Next, we have course numbers 50 through 99. Courses in this series may be applied toward graduation from Big Bend Community College under the Associate in Applied Science or Associate in General Studies degree. What this means is that you have to check with your program to see if these courses count or do not count. Many of the math courses in the Emporium model are considered in the levels between 90 and 99, and they will be applied towards some of the technical degrees. But you need to make sure and check with your advisor to see if you need a more advanced math or more specific applied math for your degree. Now, in addition, any courses that begin with the letters DVS before their numbers do not apply towards graduation. These are basic skills classes that will help you learn more skills, but do not count towards a degree. There's our picture of our mathematician to help remind you that math is one of the classes between 90 and 99 that can possibly count towards your graduation, but you need to make sure. Then we have courses 100 through 299. Courses in this series may be applied toward graduation in any degree program at Big Bend Community College. Once you reach anything 100 or above, you know that it will count towards a degree in some way. Now, the combination of how you choose your classes and how you put them together is something you have to talk about with your advisor. You cannot just take any class that you want. There is a specific set of steps and specific set of classes that you need to take in order to say that you have successfully completed a degree. Now let's talk about the course repeat policy. Under the provisions of this policy, students may elect to repeat a course in which a grade of 1.9 or lower was received, and then have the highest grade received count toward their cumulative graduation grade point average. This is also known as your GPA. A course may be repeated only once. Students must notify the admissions registration office after they have repeated a class. However, there are many conditions that go with this course repeat policy, and it's really important that you're completely informed before you decide to repeat a class. In addition, it is always best to make sure that you get the highest grade possible in every class instead of thinking about trying to repeat the class later. Let's look a little bit more into the conditions. Students should be aware that the original enrollment and grade received will remain on the transcript. Only the accumulative GPA subsequent to the repeat is affected by the second grade received. Students who are receiving financial aid or VA benefits should consult with the financial aid office prior to enrolling in any course for a second time. Aid eligibility may be lost or reduced as a result. All right, there's two really important things to think about with the conditions. First, the original grade will remain on the transcript. This means that employers who ask to see your transcript or universities that ask to see your transcript will see that you chose to repeat a course and the first grade that you received. In addition, you only have so much allowance from financial aid to help pay for courses. When you take the time to repeat a course, you are using up some of your financial aid. In addition, there are some healthcare studies implications on top of that. But before we talk about those implications, you need to understand the meanings behind two words. First is a prerequisite. This is a course that must be completed before moving on to the next step. Then you have a co-requisite. It's a course that must be completed before or at the same time as other coursework. A lot of the students that are entering into the healthcare studies field want to retake classes in order to earn higher grades. And oftentimes these classes are prerequisites or co-requisites. So each student that's thinking about retaking a class needs to meet with their advisor and see if it's really a beneficial move for them to make or not. Now, when they meet with their advisor, they'll be going over the nursing program evaluation grid in order to see if it's a decision that makes sense for their situation or not. So let's take the time to look at the nursing evaluation grid right now so you can understand exactly what they'll be looking at. First, I want to show you how you can access the grid. The first step is to go to our Big Bend Community College webpage, click on Programs underneath Academics, and go down to the nursing program, which is under N, and click on that. This will bring us to the nursing homepage. Over on the left-hand side are a bunch of links that are important for you to click through eventually before you apply for the nursing program. Let's take a look at the application. You can do this by clicking on Application Process. Then it says, please click here for a complete application. Go ahead and click on that link and open the file. This will bring up the application packet. When you scroll through the packet, you are going to find the nursing application grid. This tells you how you will be scored when you apply for the nursing program. Only the top people who apply will be allowed into the program. The first thing on the grid that you can see is that you are given points based off of your GPA. Now, a student that's between a 3.8 and a 4.0 will get the most points. A student that is only earning a 2.5 will get the lowest amount of points. In addition, we have the courses down here, which are called pre and co-requisites. In this section, you will be earning 2 points for every course that you completed with a 2.0 or above. Now, as you can see, that can add significantly to your score. So many students who earn lower than a 2.0 in one of these co-requisite courses will want to retake the course in order to gain those 2 points. But if you take a look below it, you can see that a point is subtracted for every course that's below 2.0 and every pre-co or co-rec courses that are repeated to earn a 2.0, 1 point is subtracted. What this means is that each student has to take a look at their specific grades and their specific scores to decide whether it's worth retaking the course or not in order to earn the most points possible on their application evaluation grid. Now, in order to understand this process even more clearly, it's recommended that you meet with an advisor in the nursing program to help you through this process. Now, let's go back and continue talking about academic information. Next, we're going to talk about credit and credit load. The academic year is divided into 3 quarters of approximately 11 weeks each. To be considered a full-time student, you must be enrolled in at least 12 credits per quarter. The course load per quarter is approximately 15 quarter hours of credit. A lecture class that meets 5 hours per week for 1 quarter will yield 5 quarter hours of credit. Laboratory courses require 2 hours of class time per week for 1 hour of credit. Now, this is kind of a confusing concept to understand, and it will make a little more sense when we start learning how to compute your GPA. What it means is, if you are taking a 5-credit class, then you will get 5 quarter hours of credit. If you're taking a 3-credit class, then you will get 3 quarter hours of credit. But this does not tell you how much work that you should be putting into each class. That is a completely separate calculation. So let's take a look at the credit and work equation. 1 credit equals 3 hours of learning. If you are taking a 3-credit class, you need to multiply that by 3 hours of learning to find out how many hours of total work you need to put in a week. So you are taking a 3-credit class, you multiply that by 3 hours of learning, which equals 9 hours of total work that you need to put in per week. If you are taking a 5-credit class, you will multiply that by 3 hours of learning to equal 15 hours per week of total work. So if you are taking 3 5-credit classes for a total of 15 credits, you would be putting in 45 hours of work per week. That's more than a full-time job. But this is what you need to do in order to be successful. If you are determined to get into the nursing program, you will need to start getting in that habit right now, because the nursing program puts in a great deal of work in order to learn the skills that they will need to become certified and be able to practice their craft. So let's take a look at a story problem. Let's say you have a flipped course like the one that you're enrolled in right now. If you have a 3-credit class that meets 1 hour a week face-to-face, how much work should you put in outside of class time? So you're taking a 3-credit course, you times it by 3 hours of learning, which equals 9 hours per week worth of work. But you are meeting for 1 hour of class time. So that means that you are going to need to put in 8 hours outside of the classroom. That is the expectation. Now, it's important to know that credit is given only for classes in which the student is officially registered and passes. You do not get credit for classes that you don't pass, but they do count against you, and that's something that we're going to talk about a little bit later. End of term grades. Grades are available online 1 week after final exams have been completed. To obtain grades online, students go to the Big Bend Community College student kiosk at bigbend.edu and choose Grades or Unofficial Transcript. A valid student identification number and PIN are required to view grades. Students requesting a copy of their grades in person must provide picture identification.